Swat the Fly. That is a very sensible slogan for every boy and girl. Flies are the greatest carriers of disease and contagion in nature. They have caused the deaths of more people than all the wars in history. They have changed the map of the world. In medieval times, before modern sanitary methods, they contaminated food and water supply, effecting plagues that caused people to abandon cities throughout Europe and Asia, and to migrate in the belief that the plague was due to the locality. The common housefly, Musca domestica, a small two-winged insect, has been tolerated for centuries in nearly all parts of the world as a harmless, though annoying, pest. But we have known for some years that its appearance of harmlessness is very deceptive. Flies swarm on all kinds of decaying animal and vegetable matter. That fact may cause no concern, but in a few moments they may be standing on the sugar supply. Then back to the refuse heap. These constant return journeys from sources of contagion to man in rotting meat cling to their feet and may be deposited on the things you eat. Flies reproduce by means of eggs. Under the microscope, some of these eggs are objects of beauty. They are usually laid in or near a source of food supply. One fly will lay thousands of eggs, a large percentage of which will hatch. These eggs will hatch in 24 hours or less, depending on the temperature. The larvae hatch as legless maggots, quite helpless and a prey to numerous enemies, although a large percentage of these sightless grubs survive. Through the microscope, the larvae are seen to be very active, eating continuously. If the food is moist, the development is more rapid than with a dry diet. They are sensitive to light and will flee by instinct from any bright illumination. The larval stage lasts from 3 days to a week, during which time the maggots appear to be in constant motion by wriggling and undulating the body. But they soon lose all power to move about when they pass into a third stage of development called the pupa. In this stage, the body loses its likeness to a worm, and the head, legs, wings, and other processes of the fly take form. In preparation for the pupa stage, the maggots burrow into the earth or any other dry, warm place. Here the skin hardens into a brown-shelled pupa case. In 6 to 10 days, the final transformation to a fly will take place. A drawing shows how the fly effects its release from the pupa shell, which is opened by hydraulic pressure. A bladder-like organ is inflated with liquid, weakening and eventually forcing the end. The fly, with only rudimentary wings, is soon ready to take its place in the world and bring forth hordes of maggots, which in turn will develop into adult flies to continue the work of contamination. Even the paper wrapping on food is inadequate protection against the maggots. The microscope is necessary to clearly reveal the processes of the head of the living fly. The tongue is quite large and seems always in use. It appears to be a very complex organ. While the fly takes food with its jaw, all liquids are manipulated first by the tongue. Each increase of magnification reveals the intricate structure and shows the entire area to be covered with delicate, hair-like feelers. The compound eyes are set on the side of the head, affording a wide range of vision. They are composed of hundreds of separate lenses, imparting multiple sight. Single objects, therefore, appear as many objects. This is exactly the way a woman reading a newspaper in the garden appears to the fly. But on the other side of the fence is something much more interesting: food. The excursion often ends in disaster, a deserved fate for such a carrier of germs. The fly is able to perform surprising feats of strength. Equipped with 6 legs, it can manipulate objects much larger than itself with the ease of a juggler. A one-fly power engine. This miniature pumping station is being run by a fly. What is the source of the great energy and stamina of small insects, especially the fly? It is due to their breathing system called the trachea, a network of tubes which extend into every part of the body and aerate the blood in a fraction of the time required for larger members of the animal kingdom. The fly develops two large wings, but there is also a hind wing-like structure called a haltere, which gives the insect poise or balance. The foot of a fly is so constructed that the insect can secure itself to any surface by gripping. It is on the hairy feet and legs that disease germs find a resting place and are transferred to human beings from whatever filth the fly may frequent. Decaying matter is a chief source from which the feet and legs of flies collect the germs which cause anthrax, typhoid, tuberculosis, cholera, smallpox, and other serious diseases. One of the most startling facts about the fly is its rapid and prolific rate of reproduction. Flies multiply so fast that a single individual hatched on April 1st could have 5,000 billion descendants by September 1st if all the eggs matured. It is only a few seconds from the garbage heap to the food supply, which in this case has been carelessly exposed to the contaminating influence of the fly. Food should always be covered or screened. It is only a few seconds from the garbage heap to the baby's bottle. Deadly germs may be left to cause disease and suffering. Nature has provided many checks against the fly. A poisonous fungus which breeds on certain flowers destroys countless millions of the pests. The wasp, which paralyzes flies by stinging them in a large nerve center. The long-eared bat, which feeds almost entirely on insects, catches hundreds of flies for every meal, and thereby renders a distinct service to man. The spider of all species is perhaps the most destructive enemy of the fly. Spiders spin intricate webs which serve as traps to ensnare the feet of flies and other insects. If escape seems likely, the wary spider darts from its hiding place, stings the victim with its poison fangs, and then wraps it round and round with other silken threads spun from a liquid in the body. The fly is doomed, but it deserves no pity. One less fly may mean many less victims of disease transmitted by the fly. Burn the breeding places of flies. Destroy all rubbish, garbage, and refuse where they lay their eggs. Use fly traps. There are many varieties. This one, baited with sweets at the bottom of a wire cone under a glass globe, is very effective. The flies enter the trap at the bottom of the cone. There is no exit and no escape. When a quantity have been caught, a few drops of strong ammonia on blotting paper, placed so the fumes enter the glass dome, is all that is required to destroy the insects. Keep food covered, screen doors and windows, and on every occasion destroy this enemy of man. Remember that one fly allowed to escape may transmit the germs of disease to thousands of people. Remember, swat the fly.